Hey, 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 you guys come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. As you guys come on into this live, say hi, hello, hey, so that I can see those of you that are joining us. And if you're catching us on the replay, type in hashtag replay, leave your questions, your comments, all that awesome stuff. And I will make sure that I respond back to all of your comments as best as I can. Those of you that may be new to my space, welcome, 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 welcome. My name is Beverly Walthour. I am a business strategist specifically for established Christian female coaches who desire to accelerate their income and their impact without compromising their Christian values. Hey, 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 Dr. Janice, how are you? You guys come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. It's so good to see you guys on this Money Making Monday. So you guys know I try to pop in here on Mondays at about 11:30, Eastern Standard Time, somewhere around there. Hey, Tamiko, just to drop in a couple of little tips and strategies. And then I go on about my business. Hey, Felicia. Hey, 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 hey. And so you guys, I want to talk to those of you that are still looking to close sales in December. And so I just had a post out on my personal Facebook page about a client that has closed $50,000 in the last 6 weeks. And so you guys, I want to have that conversation once again, just a couple of tips. Hey, April, just a couple of tips. I want to share with you guys about, what my clients are doing and what you can do the remainder of December. And so you guys, we have 10 working days. So I'm just counting the working days. So at the time of this recording is December 19th. So 12 days, left in the year, 10 working days. So if you're just looking at Monday through Friday or whatever days are your working days, go through and count those days up. And so I want to have a conversation about what you can do. And because we have the 10 days left, the 10 working days, according to my calendar, I'm just doing Monday through Friday. I'm going to talk about things that you can do to close clients. Literally, you can go from someone saying hi to you for the first time, being brand new to your brand, to saying bye, B-U-Y, that type of thing. You can do that in the next 24 hours if you want to, but you have the remainder of the year to do this. And so I say, even if you have shut down, because some of you guys may actually be closing your business for the holidays. Like you may be saying, well, hey, I'm not doing any coaching the remainder of December, or you're not doing any consulting the remainder of December, which is cool, but you can still have things set up. So when you open back up in January, whenever you open back your services back again in January, you'll have the sales there, you'll have people on your calendar, all of that good stuff. So if you're working these remainder of the days, that's cool. If not, that's still cool, because what I'm going to talk to you guys about, it doesn't matter, how you do this, as long as you have already set up and decided how you're going to do it, like what it is that you're going to actually do. Are you shutting your calendar down? Are people still able to schedule calls? Or for some of you, it might be a course. If you have a course where all they have to do is just click on the link to buy it, then that's cool too. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're going to talk about all those different scenarios. And so you guys, let me know in the chat, all the different coaches that I have on that are watching this, just let me know in the chat what type of coach you are, because I want to give specific examples as I'm going through and giving these couple of tips. And this right here is not, I'm not going to be before you long. This is going to be a 30-minute live, y'all. It's going to be 30 minutes. What my prayer warrior is at. It's going to be 30 minutes. Okay. And so you guys, it's going to be a couple of things that I really and truly want you guys to take into consideration. And the very first thing is going to be your content alignment. And so, Ben, what do you mean when you're talking about content alignment? So you guys, you want to look at the content that you're putting out there. Gotcha. So we have Dr. Janice, she's our life coach. We have April, she's our media and productivity coach. We have Amanda, our identity coach. April, don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. Good morning, Amanda. I see April over here laughing at me when I said 30 minutes. Watch this. So you guys, I really and truly want you to look at the content that you're going to have, going out the remainder of December. Well, babe, I'm not going to be online. You guys, no. At this point, you already know about automation, so you don't even have to physically be there, but you still want to have content that is consistently going out, that's in alignment with what it is that you do. So once again, look at the content that you're going to have going out the remainder of December. I talk to my clients about 7 different types of content. That's just on a small scale, 7 different types of content. And so once again, tips, strategies, resources, you adding value what is it? What's that content that you're putting out? And that's specifically related to what you do as a coach, because I'm going to break it down and talk about your professional content versus your personal content. On this part right here, hey, Lanita, on this right here, I'm talking about your professional content that's related to what it is that you do as a coach. So what is that content that you're going to have out there that, once again, tips, strategies, resources, things that let people know what is it that makes you the expert in what it is that you do. So you want to ensure that you have that content out there. Hey, Amy, thank you so much for joining us. You see what I'm saying? So what is that content that you're putting out there? Whether or not you're putting it out there in real time or whether or not it's scheduled. Like I said, every platform allows for you to schedule the content. And so I just made the discovery. I just got the ability on Facebook to schedule even on my personal page now. And so, as far as I know, hey, Rakita, as far as I know, it's only if you have the professional page. I think that's what that is. If you have the professional page. And so they're slowly rolling it out. So if you don't have it, hey, you guys are coming on in this morning. So if you don't have it on your Facebook personal page, if you have a professional page, it's slowly rolling out. And so you guys, like I said, if you don't have it, then if you have your assistant, you can have it where your assistant is still posting content. So whether or not it's on your personal page, your business page, in your group, if you're on Facebook, if you're on LinkedIn, all of that stuff with Instagram, all of that stuff, it allows for you to schedule the content. So even if you were taking off the rest of this week, next week, you're off the first week in January, however you decide to do it, you still have to ask yourself, my content alignment, what's going to be that content that will still go out there? And like I said, we're going to break your content down into two types of content. First, we're going to talk about your professional content. And so, Rakita, yes, a lot of the platforms, they don't like the third-party schedulers. But those that actually allow for you to schedule in your platform. So for instance, on your Facebook business page, on your Facebook group, they have features built in that will allow for you to actually schedule in there using their platform. Once again, they're slowly rolling out. Those of you on your Facebook personal page, if you have it in professional mode, they're slowly rolling out where you can actually schedule via Facebook. So there were 2 posts that went out. I had a post that went out yesterday and a post that went out this morning that I scheduled from my personal page. And so, yeah, so they do frown upon it. But once again, it may not get the reach, but still your presence is still there. So it may not get the same reach, but it will still reach some people, which would be better than you not doing anything at all. Especially for those of you that are like, you know what? Hey, I'm taking a vacation. You see what I'm saying? And so if you are legit taking a vacation and you're like, I'm not going to log into social media to do X, Y, Z, then like I said, that will be your next bet. Or if you have like an assistant, then once again, you can have your assistant log in and still post the content for you. So like I said, I strongly encourage you to have the scheduler. Once again, some of the platforms now actually allow for you to schedule within the platform versus using a third-party platform. Hey, Regina. But if it does not have that feature, then once again, the third-party platforms will allow for you to do it. As Rakita pointed out, you will not get the same level of reach, but you'll still get some reach there. That part. Yeah, Facebook had it and then they took it away and now it's coming back again. But yeah, they're bringing it back because once again, it's all about that competition. So they see all these other third-party apps or whatever. So their thing is, well, hey, let me get in on it as well. So yeah, so they are bringing it back. So yeah, and like I said, those of you, if you have a personal page that's in professional mode, just be on the lookout. And the way that you know is when you go to make a post, you'll go through and you'll put your post like you normally would, and then you'll see the button that says next. And then on that page it says next, and it'll say, hey, do you want us to post it now? Or do you want us to schedule it? That part right there. Hey, Lucretia, that part right there. So so like I said, be on the lookout. If you have that Facebook professional feature turned on, then be on the lookout. They're slowly rolling out how to schedule your post, being able to schedule your post. So like I said, I was super excited when I saw mine. I was like, y'all ain't saying nothing but a word. Okay. So like I said, so that professional stuff. What are the tips, the strategies, the resources? Of course, you guys, I'm such a strong fan. And speaking of, Lucretia just popped on in here. I'm such a fan of using short form content. So Lucretia, those of you, if you're not, Lucretia, what's your name on Instagram as well? You guys, if you're not familiar with Lucrece, she's a bonus mom coach. And so she does really good when it comes to reels and stuff. And so I was just talking about with content alignment, I was mentioning tips, strategies, and resources and stuff like that. You can have your written content out there. So we were talking about scheduling and stuff like that. And then Lucrece popped up as now we're ready to talk about short form video. So what are you using for short form content? There we go. So you guys, if you're on IG, I strongly encourage you to follow Lucrece over there on IG because she does an amazing job when it comes to her reels and stuff over there. Reels are very powerful pieces of content, short form content. And so a lot of us, we talk so doggone much. But short form content, once again, it's a powerful way for it to show your personality, for you to still provide the tips, the strategies, the resources, all of that good stuff like that, but being able to give it to people in bite-sized chunks. And then utilize the caption feature to continue that conversation. A lot of the platforms, TikTok, so those of you, if you're on TikTok, very SEO heavy right now. So it's not so much the hashtags as the push and the draw. You still will have your hashtags, but it's also SEO friendly right now. And so those keywords. So those of you, if purpose, if you're supporting people with purpose, or once again, business, career, ensuring that you have those keywords as a part of your content, it helps to push it out even more. And like I said, as people are starting to go on vacation and stuff like that, they're going to be scrolling more on social media. So why not have your content pop up? And so every platform right now utilizes short form video. So Facebook has it, Instagram has it, YouTube has YouTube Shorts. We know they have it over there on TikTok. And then even on LinkedIn. For LinkedIn was always such an encouragement to keep your videos at 3 minutes or less. So even even before short form was a thing, LinkedIn strongly encouraged that you keep your content to 3 minutes or less, that type of thing. And so you want to make sure that you're leveraging that short form content. And once again, the thing is, especially those of you where, once again, you want your presence to be felt, even if you're not there, posting in real time and all that stuff like that, look at how you can batch your content. So those of you that are participating in the 30-day sales challenge that we're doing in January the 9th through January the 9th through February the 9th, there's a content calendar in there for you to map out your content, because I want you guys to be proactive versus reactive. I really want you guys to think about it. Think about the fact that, we're ending a year. So what's going on with your people as they end the year? I was working with one of my private clients and having a conversation with one of my private clients about, what's going on with your people around the holidays. Think about it. So you guys put yourself in your ideal client's shoes right now. Is there anything significant when it comes to the end of the year or around the holidays? Is there things that you want to talk to them about? Are there things that you want to talk to them about as we come up on the new year? Because think about it. A lot of our people, they make their New Year's resolutions. They set their goals, their intentions, whichever the word that they have or phrase that they have for the year. How can you insert yourself into that conversation? They're already doing it anyway. They're creating their vision boards and all of that stuff. How does what you do play into the life that they desire to have as they move out of 2022 and move into 2023? That's how I want you guys to think about it. You guys, let me know in the chat, does that make sense? So once again, don't negate the fact. Think about what's going on with your people in real time. Once again, as we're ending the year, as we're coming up on the final holidays, of 2022, as we're moving into the new year. Once again, think about that very first month of the year. That's another reason why I'm doing another 30-day sales challenge at the beginning of the year. One is going to be a nice little boost to revenue and sales for you guys to start off the beginning of the year. But also, I want you guys to be very intentional about the conversations that you're going to have with your people at the beginning of 2023. So that's another reason why we're doing another round of the 30-day sales challenge. Okay. So you guys, perfect. You said that makes sense. So you guys, like I said, so you have that content, that's your professional content. And when I say professional, once again, is relevant to what you do as a coach. And another powerful feature when it comes to the content that you're putting out there, if you're able to tell stories around it. So don't just say, hey, go buy my stuff, but talk to them about why. Why should they invest in what it is that you do and not say, well, hey, this is the reason why you should invest in a coach. That's not what I mean when I say that. But once again, why is it that they should invest in your particular offer? You know, how does your offer solve their problem? How is your offer going to take them from where they currently are if they're trying to figure out what their identity in Christ is or what their purpose is? So they're in this space of trying to figure it out. Once again, do they want to go into another year trying to figure out what their purpose is? So if the answer is no, and they're not wanting to spin their wheels another year, how does your offer, how does your program walk them through the process of figuring out their identity in Christ or figuring out their purpose or being able to help them to secure the type of job that they want or create the type of business that they want or have the type of relationship or health or wealth, however it is that you support your clientele? That's how you want to think about it. So once again, insert yourself into that conversation professionally, because people have to see how it is specifically that you're going to be able to support them. Some of you guys, you have to be very specific in what it is and how it is. Now, also the other piece to your content alignment are the personal pieces. And when I say personal pieces, you're more than just a coach. You're more than just a consultant. You see what I'm saying? So once again, what are those other pieces that make you you? Thank you guys so much. Y'all know how to make a girl feel good. Thank you. What are those other pieces? So even for yourself, share for you when the holidays are coming up. Even insert yourself now for you. What does it look like for you now? When the holidays are coming up, what does that look like for you? You see what I'm saying? So once again, is it busy and you're preparing for family to come into town, you're preparing to cook, or maybe it's like, hey, you know what? This is the first holiday that I have without XYZ, whoever it may be. Like, don't be afraid to share those components and those pieces with people as well. Because once again, people want to invest in all of who you are, not just the coaching part. Once again, people connect and people relate to who you are as that person. So do not be afraid to share those pieces of yourself as well. I always say, just the pieces that you feel comfortable with. So once again, I was talking to one of my personal clients and she was sharing an experience that she had, with something that's going on lately in the news. And so I asked, I said, how comfortable are you with sharing that? Because you guys, like I said, if you're not comfortable sharing it, then don't share it. Like, don't feel like you're obligated to share it. Get with the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit, is this a part of the testimony that I need to share? Because once it's out there on the World Wide Web, it's out there. So, is this a part of the story? Is this a piece that I'm supposed to share with my audience? Because you guys, a lot of time, especially right now, people are in this space where they are feeling like they are the only one, or two, nobody will ever understand. They're the only one, or no one will ever understand. And so once again, have that conversation with them so that they realize and understand, no, I get it. I understand it completely and totally, and I understand. So that type of thing. So once again, what are those pieces personally that you can share? And so, like I said, those pieces that you can personally share that's tied to what it is that you do as a coach. And then once again, like I said, there's just going to be some personal content that you put out there that doesn't have anything to do with what you do as a coach, period. But once again, it may be things as a mom. It may be just things as you. Like, my favorite way to relax at the end of the day is to have my bubble bath and have whatever salts or whatever it is that you have. You see what I'm saying? Just sharing those pieces of yourself as well. That's what I'm referring to too. So you want to have, when I talk about that content alignment, you want to ensure that there are all of those elements to it, the professional pieces and the personal pieces too, so that people can connect with you on multiple levels. That's the part. So once again, think about this, the remainder of 2019. Y'all, I just put us back into 2019. Y'all know what? The rest of 2022, go ahead and ask yourself, hey, what are those other pieces that I want to share? Now, for some of you guys, some of those personal pieces, those may be the things that you do and show up in real time, because you may be putting it up as it happens. So those of you, if you're cooking on Christmas, or there may be something, some special tradition that your family does on Christmas or Christmas Eve or whatever, New Year, all of that stuff, like, ask yourself, hey, are those pieces that I want to share? Y'all, look, I'm taking us back in time. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all, we backing up to 2019. Look. But you see what I'm saying? So think about those pieces. And like I said, some of those personal things, you may actually have to do it in real time. That's cool. When you're out and about, you guys put your hats on. When you're out and about, I'm always looking for ways of where I may be able to snap a picture or a selfie as part of my content, because that's part of the conversation. So don't be afraid of doing that as well. So have those dual hats on. So yes, you're out and you may be shopping for something, XYZ or whatever, but it may be a conversation piece. So you may snap a picture. So now you can use that on your social media content to have a conversation with your audience. So have that dual mindset in the sense of, that content generation for yourself. So like I said, when you're out and about doing whatever it is, and you feel led to snap that picture, because once again, you may be able to share that with your audience and have a conversation with your audience. Okay. So you guys, this content alignment piece goes with the other pieces that I'm getting ready to talk about. So you want to have content out there. You guys, you have to have content. I don't care what anybody says. Think about it. You're asking someone to invest $2,500, $5,000, $10,000 to work with you. But when they go on your social media, they see nothing. They don't see anything. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. And so once again, having that content alignment out there, having content out there that has that conversation with your ideal clients, that is a part of it. Okay. So your content alignment. The second piece, messaging alignment. Ben, what are you talking about when you say messaging alignment? What I'm talking about is that messaging that you're putting out there to speak to your ideal client. So what is it that you want to say specifically to your ideal client? And you guys, I say this all the time. Your ideal client, there's some characteristics of an ideal client. One, they have the time to invest. If someone is so busy that they're not going to be able to meet with you, then maybe your one-on-one or your group program, that may not be the fit for them. Maybe they may have to get into your course if they're that busy to where they can't meet with you. How are they going to meet with you in your one-on-one or your group if they're just that busy? So they may have to end up in some type of course that you may have where it's self-paced, and they can go ahead and they can do it on their own. You see what I'm saying? Like, do it at their own pace, do it at their own rate. So don't try to fit them into a program, and once again, it's not a good fit for them, because they're going to have time. They're going to have the energy. Man, what are you talking about when you say energy? They're going to actually have to do something, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, they're going to have the time, and then they're going to have to do whatever it is that you're asking them to do. I don't know of any coach where they just read information and that's it. It's just passive information and that's it. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. So they're going to have the energy. Hey, Trisella, hey. They're going to have the energy to actually do whatever it is that you're asking them to do. You see what I'm saying? So they have to have the time. They have to have the energy, because they're going to actually have to do something. And then, of course, they're going to have the resources, the money to actually invest in what it is that they're doing. So do they have those three things? The time, the energy, the money to invest. Do they have those three things? That's your ideal. That's the characteristics of your ideal client. Because your services are not free. It's not free. So are you speaking to the person that has those three characteristics? I'm just asking the question. Amy said, stop it. How did you know there are people in my circle so busy I had to ask for... That's what it is, Amy. And like I said, it may be that in this time, in this season, it may not be a good fit for them. And that's cool. That is cool. Because you want people in that are going to actually get into your programs, actually do the work, to being able to get in the results that they're saying that they desire to achieve. To the time, the energy, and the money. You guys, do not be afraid. Some of you guys, you already know how I feel about the price points for some of you guys and the way that some of you guys are rolling with things. Some of you guys are outpricing your audience. I remember one of my clients, I was having a conversation with her, and what she was asking people to invest versus the outcome. And for this young lady, she was doing books, like she was helping them with when it came to their books. And so I'm like, okay, but the price point that you have versus what you're saying they're going to be able to do, I said, in their mind, they're not going to make the connection. They're looking at it like, well, that's way too much to invest just to get them to be able to write a book or produce a book or whatever it may have been. With the way that she was using it and the way that her messaging was out of alignment. Her pricing was out of alignment with how she was asking her people to do it. And so, you guys, your messaging has to be on point. People have to be able to see the value in what it is. So when they see that investment, if it's a $5,000 investment, when they see that, when they compare that investment versus the result, or I like to use the word transformation because I work with transformational coaches. When they see that investment of $5,000 versus the transformation, it is a no-brainer. They're like, oh, it's only $5,000. Okay, bet. So whether or not that transformation is for now, if you're a relationship coach and now that you provided them with the tools and strategies and resources that they need to be able to now have a loving, healthy and happy relationship, and that investment is $5,000, the way you're messaging and that alignment for that messaging, when they see that investment of $5,000 versus whatever the outcome is, and when they compare it to, okay, well, I can spend all this time to work with a matchmaker, a matchmaker, that might be $10,000. And even with the matchmaker, they don't get to the same level as a relationship coach would get with me versus when, working with the matchmaker, because even with the matchmaker, they don't get to the root of what's really going on with you. You see what I'm saying? So when they look at that $5,000, even if your investment was $10,000 as the relationship coach, when they look at that versus the outcome of it, it is a no-brainer for them to invest. And I always tell people, no-brainer pricing does not mean cheap. Like I said, it could be a $10,000 investment and it's a no-brainer. It could be a $30,000 investment and it is a no-brainer for them. So that messaging you have to have that alignment when it comes to that messaging. You have to have that alignment. And so once again, when you are consistently working on that messaging, and once again, consistently, because a lot of times people will come to me and they're like, Bev, how does this message sell? And so a lot of times we can make some tweaks to it, but the best way to test it is to put it out there. So many of you guys are so afraid of making mistakes that you don't even put your content out there to gauge how it's working with your people. Put the messaging out there. Put it on out there and watch what happens. Watch what happens. But remember, if you're looking to close sales the remainder of December, like I said, we've already mapped out the content that you're going to put out there. Even if you are not going to put it out there in real time, there are tools out there that you can put out there that will allow for you to schedule and all that good stuff. Or if you have an assistant, allow for your assistant to do that. Social media manager, however it is that you're moving and shaking. And you want to ensure that the content that you're putting out there, once again, that messaging is in alignment with the type of person that's desiring the transformation that you support them in achieving. So once again, making sure your messaging is in alignment. And so we touched on this. I just want to touch on this again, your presence. So like I said, people should feel like you're there even when you're not. I don't know the number of times they're like, Bev, people will say to me all the time, Bev, you're always online. No, I'm not. I am not. But I give that a look as if I am. So it feels like it has that illusion as if I am, but I'm not. And so the same thing, how can it feel like your presence is there even when you're not? You might be laid up on the beach somewhere. Because if you're like me over here in this weekend when the temperature will get down to like 12, I'm like, Lord, I don't want to be here when I need to be laid up on somebody's beach somewhere because the 12-degree down here make no sense. My mind can't even comprehend that. How you living in Georgia and the temperature going to get down to 12? That don't even make any sense. I digress. So you want people to feel like you're there even when you're not. It may not be you actually putting it out there in real time. So how will you ensure that your presence is felt even if you're not actually there? So we touched on that a little bit when we were talking about the content alignment, but I want to bring that out and I want you to actually think about it. How can your presence be felt even if you're not actually putting that content out there in real time? Okay. And then the final thing, once again, if you're looking to close sales in the month of December, what is your fastest path to cash? What is yours? Everyone has a different way of doing this. For some of you guys, your fastest path, if you get people into Messenger and have a conversation with them in Messenger, you can close them when it comes to sales. What is your fastest path to cash? Is it for you? You know that when you go live, your presence and your energy, you're able to close sales? Is it via your email list? Is it via you putting a post out on social media? Is it via you creating a room over there on Clubhouse? Is it if you know that you do a reel and put a reel out there? What is your fastest path to cash? You have to know that, especially if you're still looking to close sales these last 2 weeks of December. But for a lot of you guys, that fastest path to cash is going to be some form of a conversation. So whether or not the conversation is via messenger, whether or not it's via sales call, but know your fastest path to cash. And you want to ask yourself, okay, I know that if I'm able to get people on a sales call, or I know if I'm able to talk with someone in Messenger, or hey, whenever I shoot off a email to my list, I'm usually able to close a sale or two. You have to know that about you and your business. And so if you know what your fastest path to cash is, ask yourself for the remainder of December, okay, how can I incorporate more of that if I know that this is my fastest path to cash? Does that make sense? You guys, let me know in the chat. Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat. Does that make sense? When you know that, once again, you're able to close a couple more sales here in the month of December before December is even over. And sometimes we make it harder than what it has to be. You don't want to make it harder. When I was talking about the client that closed $50,000 these past 6 weeks, we literally went with what she already had. We're not running any ads. We're not doing any of that. We're literally doing exactly what it is that I'm talking about. We looked at her content, her email list. Those were the two areas for her. And so literally that's what it was that we went with her. So like I said, when you know your fastest path to cash, that makes it even easier. Now, some of you guys are like, baby, I don't know mine. Then me and you didn't have a conversation so we can figure it out. So for some of you guys, we may have to play around with some things to see what your thing is. That's why one of the things I'm always talking about, like, I don't like it when a coach says you have to do it this way, or you have to do it like, you have to run ads, or you have to do a webinar, or I have such a strong resistance when someone tells me I have to do something. I don't know. I got a little slight rebel in me. I don't know. Somebody let me know. Yeah, I don't know if it's a little bit of rebel in me, but when someone says I have to do something, there's some resistance there. So for me, even as a coach, and I know a lot of it stems from when I used to teach, I could not do with my students, like I couldn't with my students, 32 kids in the class, we could not do the same thing for everybody. I had to figure out what worked well for these kids, and then I had to group them, and that's the same thing that I do as a coach. Like, we're going to figure out what makes the most sense for you and your personality. So I know I was talking to a young lady in Messenger, and she was like, Coach Bev, she was like, people are responding to my content. They're interacting in the occasion. They're like, yeah. I want this. But then when she gets them on the call, she can't close them. So you know what I'm going to work on with her? I'm working on closing with her. So I'm going to listen to some of her sales calls, so I can figure out and diagnose what the issue is, so that we can now fix that situation. Because if her content is on point and as people are rah, yeah, and I want some of that, then once again, we don't have to work on her messaging. It's going to be her issue with closing. And so we need to figure out. Now, there may actually have to be a little bit of tweak to her messaging in the sense of, because she may be attracting the wrong people. But I believe with this young lady, it's not that she's attracting the wrong people, because there's questions on there about, what they're willing to invest. So it's not that they don't have the time, the money, or the energy. There's a disconnect. They're not seeing the value in the price point versus what it is that she's saying that they can secure. Yeah, it's the little rebel in me, April. I'm okay. Y'all pray. I know, don't pray the rebel out of me. Don't do that. Don't pray it out of me. I think I like it, actually. So you guys, like I said, that's what I love about what I do, because once again, I'm able, when I'm working with you, to figure out what the best, and ain't nothing but the Holy Spirit, because the Holy Spirit will have y'all up in your business. But being able to use the Holy Spirit to figure out what's going to be that thing that's going to be able to help you to, once again, for some of you guys, it's just a small tweak. Like, once again, when that client did $50,000 in 6 weeks, once again, just a small tweak. And now she has this thing. So now she's good to go. My goal is, okay, if you can do $50,000 in 6 weeks, let's do $50,000 in 4 weeks. Let's crank it up. So you did it in 6 weeks, a month and a half. Now let's do it in a month. Now, if you're able to do it in a month, let's do it in a week. Hey, if you're now able to do it in a week, let's do it in a day. Y'all know how I roll, 5-figure months, weeks, and days. I'm just saying. And so you guys, that part there. So like I said, when you know your fastest path to cash, you're able to tap into that thing and being able to secure more and more clients, even in the month of December. Okay? So you guys, I said 30 minutes. I'm at 33 minutes. So April laughed at me. But you guys, that's all that I got. So you guys, I'm telling you, if you're just hopping on here, make sure you go back and check out the replay. Your content alignment. That alignment in your messaging. How are you going to leverage your presence, even if you are even if you're on vacation for the rest of this year? How can you leverage your presence? Make sure that your presence is felt, even if you are not there. And then once again, what is your fastest path to cash? Tap into that. If you're not sure, you and I need to have a conversation so I can support you in figuring out what it is, so we can put gasoline on that thing. Turn your 5-figure months into 5-figure days. That's what I want to be able to support you guys in doing. Okay. All right, you guys. So those of you, and you heard me talk about a little bit earlier, you see the link up there in the top. If you're interested in the next round of our 30-day sales challenge, you guys, this is cohort 3. So I had no clue that when I ran this the first time that we were going to be on cohort 3. Literally, I've had people who have been a part of cohort 1, cohort 2, and they have already signed up for cohort 3. So you want to ask yourself, what is it about this sales challenge where people are signing up for it multiple times? Once again, with this sales challenge, people have had their first 5-figure month. They've been able to 4x their revenue. They've been able to do things in 30 days. Where if they actually sat and thought about it, it would have actually taken them 90 days to do it. They were able to do it in 30 days. So being able to speed up what it is that they've been doing, once again, it's been absolutely amazing. And so we're going to do it again. And there's actually a bonus that's been added this time around. So I've actually already had somebody that has closed a client because of the bonus content. Because once again, I just believe in when you sign up with something with Bev, although it doesn't start till January, I'm going to put you to work right now. That's just how I am. And so one of those pieces of content that's brand new to this particular round of the 30-day sales challenge is an email templates. So it has 7 days of emails. And so the person went through, took the templates that I gave, she tweaked it for her particular coaching, had it scheduled in her email responder, and boom, closed the client after the first email, because that's how it's designed. So those of you, if you're looking to close sales in the month of December, join us in the 30-day sales challenge. Go ahead and get access to this email template. Go ahead and get it set up, because that's another your email is another way for you to close sales. Go ahead, even just for that, even just to have access to the email templates. I'm just saying. Yeah, look, I'm telling you, April was one of my people that was in my sales challenge. Yes, she did. April put that thing in had people seeking her about her second business. I'm just saying. It all in 30 days. In 30 days. I'm just saying. So those of you, like I said, if you're interested in closing sales in the month of December, I invite you to join us today in the 30-day sales challenge. Once again, because you're going to get instant access. You're going to get some pre-work, but you're also going to get instant access to my email templates. And like I said, it's 7 templates. You literally go in there, put in your information about what you do as a coach or a consultant, schedule it in your email responder, set it and forget it. Have that. If that's how you want to generate some revenue between now and the end of December, like I said, even just for that bonus, signing up for the 30-day sales challenge is worth it just for that one bonus. Like I said, people are already closing clients just from that one bonus. And like I said, we don't even get started until January. But I'm so serious about supporting you guys and being able to secure more clients. Yeah, I love this, Lucretia. I started a podcast and apparel company for bonus moms that I'm coming out with. That is absolutely amazing, Lucretia, because it's needed. It is so needed. I love that. I love that. I love that. So you guys, if you're interested in joining us in cohort 3, like I said, 1, 2, 3, literally, we've had people within the first 7 days of the live workshop, because there's a live workshop component to this. They closed $5,000, $6,000, $3,000 within 7 days. And once again, the investment for the 30-day challenge is $197. So less than $200. You have access to me for 30 days during this 30-day sales challenge. Like I said, people have closed $3,000, $5,000, $6,000 in 7 days. People have already closed clients with this based on even just the bonus templates, email templates. And like I said, that's brand new. That was not a part of cohort 1 and cohort 2, but I've added that as a part of cohort 3. So I would love to have you guys join us in the 30-day sales challenge, especially if you're looking to have a burst of revenue to start off 2023. I would love to have you guys join us in the 30-day sales challenge, because I do the link, because I use Square. They actually also have Afterpay. So if you want to break your payments up, that's completely up to you. If you want to break it up, $50 bi-weekly, you can certainly do that as well. Hey, get it where you fit in. So at least that way you can get access immediately to the email templates that's a part of the sales challenge, so you can at least start to generate some revenue before we even get started in January. Okay. So you guys, once again, thank you so much. I pray that this was helpful for you guys. You guys, like I said, you can still close sales in the month of December, period. I don't care what anybody says. You can still close sales. You have the rest of this week if you're still working. You have next week, even if you're not working, even if you are on vacation. There may be a course, there may be a product that you have out there, whatever that you can still sell during this time. Even if you have your feet kicked up on the beach somewhere, which I really need to this weekend. I'm back. Okay, yes, because it's 12-degree weather. It's just not sitting right in my spirit. But I'm back. Okay, so you guys, I'm telling you. So if you want to join us, I would love to have you join us. Once again, the clickable link is floating around somewhere above the video. And I also have it below my face as well. But the clickable link is down below me. Once again, for this round, it's January the 9th through February the 9th. The live kickoff call is going to be Saturday, January the 7th. And it will be recorded in case you can't make it live. And then, like I said, January the 9th through February the 9th, 30 days are just focused on sales. 30 days are focused on sales. So you guys, I pray you have an absolutely amazing rest of your day. Once again, if you have specific questions from me, feel free to reach out and ask me. I am more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. Once again, this is my personal invite to you to join us in the 30-day sales challenge. When I tell you the level of results that people have achieved in less than 30 days has been absolutely amazing. And so you guys, I invite you to join us once again for less than $200. You can go ahead and get in where you fit in. Okay. So you guys, thank you so much. And I will see you guys on the other side of this live. Take care. Take care. Take care.